Welcome back. Hello everyone. I haven't made a video in a while, but I've been playing around with ear tips and the Sennheiser IE 200, and I made some interesting discoveries that make these sound even better than they usually sound. So what I discovered is they can sound amazing if you have the right DAC or DAP connected, and if the fit is right. But a lot of the time the fit isn't right. Maybe it's because they're so small, or because of the nozzle, or the tips change. Certain tips deform over time. It could be several different things, several factors. Or if you had one IEM in that has a large nozzle and your ear canal stretches a little bit, then you try to put these in, it might not fit like it usually does. But this fixes all of that, and it also brings out more detail and more soundstage from my discoveries and my listening. Basically, what I did here, let me remove this, let me remove the tip and remove this modification. Now, you might think this is crazy, but this part here has a mesh on it when you get them, and I think it's like a little bit of plastic, like plastic crosses over the mesh. I poked holes in that mesh, just one hole in each open area, and then I put a new mesh over it. I don't remember what this one is, but you can kind of see that there is mesh here. The other thing I did was I took moving tape, so specifically the tape that a moving company would use when they're taping all your stuff. It's like that very cheap brown tape, and I cut it very thin and wrapped it perfectly around the nozzle about 4 times or 3 times. Then I took a spin fit tip and a Moondrop spring tip. It's the large one. So this is a medium spin fit tip, and in here is a large Moondrop spring tip. I cut the black part off, the base of it, and then I took the rest of it and I cut this really tiny sliver, I guess I'll call it, off of the end. So one side is perfectly flat, one side has like some cut marks on it, and let's see how I did it. So I put the flat side out, so this little sliver of ear tip goes over the nozzle, and the flat side is out, and the rigid side with the cut marks is facing in, so that's touching the bud. And you can see there's the ring. Then here on a Moondrop spring tip, there is like a manufacturer's ring, I guess, so like maybe that's where it's cut, or where there's like a line in the mold or something. I cut along that line, and then I took it and put it over the base of the spin fit tip, like that. And it needs to be on as far as it can go. So I do this a few times, make sure it's really stuck on there. And then turn them that way. And this adds a lot of rigidity to the spin tip, the spin fit tip. And it also causes it to hold its shape in your ear. So you can see it's a little deformed, but that deformation isn't permanent. It deforms again and pushes up against your ear perfectly once you put it in. And then you take this, put that on, and you don't have to worry about it popping off in your ear, because the spin fit tips have great grip, and they're really tight around the IE 200. Also, the IE 200 itself has a pretty large lip over here. It's kind of sharp on the bottom, so this just works out perfectly. And then let's do that. Let me make sure it's right in a second. Let's straighten that out. Okay, perfect. And now when it goes in your ear, it stays in whatever direction it is placed in. So if your ear is, oddly shaped, or turns a lot, or whatever it is, whatever the shape is, this can now reach further into your ear and also make the bends necessary, the curves within your ear necessary, which then provides better sound. So let me kind of give you an example. So let's say your ear is like that, right? It stays like that. Or your ear is like this, it stays like that, or this way, that way. And when I'm moving this, I can kind of hear it popping. So the rubber is rubbing and creating like a resistance, and like a point where it gets stuck, just a little stuck. So now let's put this on. And let's put these in. Plugging them in now. Yeah. Everything just sounds so much better than stock when you first get them out of the box. All of the hi-hat hits are like nice and sharp. The separation is much better. vocals sound better. It really makes these one of my favorites now. I still do use the Kiwi Ears Quintet. I use these a lot because I liked them better than the Sennheisers, but now they're equal to me, and I really don't mind using these. They're more comfortable. They provide that separation now, that detail, and I could listen to these all day. I used to just listen to these occasionally for that like bass and that Sennheiser type of tuning, but now these are all day IEMs. So that's it. It's the mod, the tip mod, and the IEM mod, and to increase the quality of your IE 200.